Born free. South Africa's so-called born-free generation now accounts for some 40% of the population. Born since the country's first democratic elections in 1994, they have grown up without apartheid and the struggles of South Africa's older generation. Here, 6 born-frees talk about life growing up in the new South Africa. Thabang Mabaso. Ballet dancer Thabang Mabaso grew up in Orange Farm, a poor township outside Johannesburg, before going to art school. There he started to train as a dancer and is now a professional dancer in the Johannesburg Ballet Company. He gives ballet lessons in the townships and knows his life would have been very different under apartheid.
If we hadn't gained democracy in 1994,
he says,
I'd have been perhaps a gardener, but definitely not a ballet dancer.
He readily acknowledges that few blacks attend his performances and adds that there has been opposition to his chosen profession closer to home.
My mom never saw my ballet as a proper job or career. She would always say, "Oh, you're going to go play ballet now."
However, Thabang believes that South Africa has the diversity and the potential to develop like the United States.
I think we have similar histories, and I believe that South Africa definitely could become like America.
Nisha Luchman. Trainee nurse Nisha Luchman runs a small cake business with her sisters. She lives with her family just outside Walkerville, south of Johannesburg, where violent robberies are a constant source of fear. Their house has been robbed so often that the TV is now in a cage, bolted to the wall.
I have heard from older people what it was like before 1994, how you had to carry your pass around with you to go to different areas, but the crime was much less then.
She says,
I don't have freedom. I can't walk to the shops without taking off my jewelry. I passed my driving test, but I have never driven on my own for security reasons. Many things about South Africa are better now. I can be friends with whoever I want. I don't have to worry about what race they are. But crime is much worse than before. I just want it to be a safer place.
Tyrone Miller. Tyrone Miller is an up-and-coming motocross rider competing in national events. When he is not competing, he works for his father's business.
I think for my parents' generation it was a really big change.
He says of the end of white minority rule.
I am conscious that I am one of the first generation to be born free in South Africa. But because of that, I don't think about it.
He says,
I have only known this South Africa. I love it. No other country has the diversity that South Africa has. There is nowhere else I'd rather be.
Malatsi Legodi. Malatsi Legodi was jailed for 4 months for stealing a mobile phone and now is determined to set his life on the right track. Living in the Pretoria township of Atteridgeville, he says he fell in with a bad crowd.
I would hang around with my friends in the street and they would say, "Do this," and I would do it. I began stealing. There was no one to say what was right or wrong.
Malatsi's uncle, a former prisoner who now runs an organization rehabilitating offenders, inspired him to complete his education and turn his life around.
My uncle has done a lot to help me realize what I can do if I go back to school. For me, freedom is the freedom to live a better life.
Kensani Koza. Kensani Koza, aka Ms. Candy K, is a radio DJ who presents a show on VOW FM, a university radio station in Johannesburg. A child of South Africa's new black middle class, she is a law student but has ambitions to become a star radio or TV presenter.
I don't want to imagine if 1994 hadn't happened, but I can imagine it. I would not have been able to go to university to study law,
she says. She believes the ANC government of the last 20 years should be given more time to make changes.
I am one of those people who believes in giving my government time. It is very easy to criticize, but I think people should remain optimistic and hope they can deliver on their promises.
Chanel Olivier. Chanel is one of the top female skateboarders in South Africa. Also a student, she has studied ballet as a hobby.
I think the ballet helps with skateboarding. It's all about balance,
she says. She discovered the male-dominated world of competitive skating almost by accident.
A friend got me into playing skating games on the computer, and then we started skating for real,
she explains. Chanel says the skating community is close-knit and racially mixed.
It's like a family. It's a small skating scene in South Africa, and there's a sense of community. It's not really competitive like in some other countries.